Alright guys, logged in and here to check out what these containers are that I got sent by EEK or EEKK. Sent me 3 Admiral's gifts. So let's see what we got here. Hello there, Santa Claus. Let's see what we got. Oh, ho, ho, indeed. Wow, nice. 35 Restless Fire camouflages. Alright, let's try opening box number 2. Super container number 2. Ho 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 indeed. 35 Gamescom 2016 camouflages. Nice. And for the final Admiral's gift, wow! 1,500 doubloons. Thank you! Eek, I hope your name is actually pronounced Eek. Thanks, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks very much. And now, on to some World of Warships. Alright guys, so here is a look at my U.S.S. Colorado with the Restless Fire camouflage on it. Also, this just happens to be my first battle with the sea hull for the Colorado too, so take that for what it's worth. So there's a look at the Restless Fire camo. Actually, was kind of funny that I used the Restless Fire camo on this map, as you'll see from the chat here in a moment. I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to go here at the start. I also didn't really pay attention to the matchmaking that I got, which, as you can see, I got quite a bit up tiered, but I didn't realize that at first. There's another look at the sea hull with the extra AAA on it, and a little better look at the Restless Fire orange camouflage, which obviously I like, being that I do like the color orange. So funny here, in the text chat, they put back the orange sky, which, of course, I can't miss an opportunity like that. Especially when somebody says here, I like orange. That was even better. So I just happen to have orange camouflage as well. So my orange camo is going to work well. And then I was going to say I'm a fan of orange myself, but I probably should have said that instead, but this worked. So this was actually, there's 2 battles here in this video, as you probably could tell by the title, but this was actually the second battle that I sailed with the 2 different camouflages. I sailed the battles in the opposite order of the camouflages I opened, and this battle doesn't go quite as well as the second one, so I figured finish out with the better battle, so. You'll also see here that I'm not a very good battleship captain. Whether I get up tiered or whether I get totally down tiered, I'm not terribly good at battleships yet, which you'll see as part of this battle. Although I think I do all right in this battle, just not great. If I was better at battleships, this battle probably could have gone better. But you'll see. I think I did all right as far as how I normally do in battleships, but we'll see. We'll see when it comes. So I was heading towards B, but looking at where our team and everyone is going on the map here over towards C, and where all the enemy was going towards C, I decided I was going to stick around and follow the Iowa. This is where I realized what all of the matchmaking was when I saw that Iowa cross right next to me. I woke up this morning on December 23rd today with just a little bit of a cold, it feels like, starting. So that's, you can probably hear it in my voice, I'm sure. Anyway, I decided to hold back and hang out with this Iowa a little bit and try to shield him from some of the fire that he might take and keep his better ship up here and see what I could do to maybe play more like a battleship captain and less like a reckless destroyer captain like I normally do. So I'm firing out HE at this New Mexico trying to get him on fire. And it actually worked. Too bad. Too bad the shell tracker there was on the shell that hit the water instead of the ones that hit the New Mexico. But he was on fire, and he does actually extinguish it quickly, so let the team know. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to the chat, that I was still in all, but at least I didn't say anything that wasn't really, you know, it's not like I really gave away a secret or anything there. I switched over to AP after this. I'm trying to get some good hits on the Scharnhorst there. I probably should have kept HE in case I got a fire, and then gone back on the New Mexico. Well, whether I got a fire or not, I should have set him on fire, or fired HE at him again in an attempt to get him on fire. Either for the first time or for the second time, but oh well. Before I forget, let me just say one more time. First off, Eek, I hope your name is pronounced Eek. I'm just gonna do that for the rest of the video, so if it's not, I'm really sorry. But thank you, thank you, thank you. 3 times thank you for the 3 Admiral's gifts. That's awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Obviously, it would have been sweet to get a ship, but it's not like you can control that, so I really appreciate it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the doubloons yet. I think I might hold on to them and see if I get anything World of Warships for Christmas tomorrow, and then maybe buy a Saipan. I think you can get that with... I think you can get a Saipan from the store with, or from in-game with doubloons, so I'll have to look at how much it is and everything. Didn't quite get shot blind there in the dark and tried to pick off that Iowa. Didn't quite get him. Also didn't realize just how tight I was getting on the Iowa here, the friendly Iowa here. I managed to avoid hitting him again, but he still fired and hit me in my bridge, unfortunately. Sorry about that, buddy. So I get targeted in on the enemy Iowa, trying to get a fire on him. He was just barely moving forward, which I realized after I fired. But unfortunately with the auto lead or whatever, it made most of my shells fall just behind him because he was just barely moving forward. Trying to get a reload here and get a second round of HE into him, try and get a fire started on the Iowa, who was also using Restless Fire Camo. He probably got it from a super container too, or from a gift container rather. I'm not the only one firing HE at him. Got more hits on him, but only one, and tried to decide here, do I want to swing around to the right and sail away behind this island, or swing around straight ahead, and I ended up deciding with the rudder shift I probably would have just hit the island, which would have left me broadside to the Iowa and the Baltimore, so I turned left instead and was trying to get shots in on this Baltimore to finish him. Fired just a little bit behind him. If my shots had hit him there, it probably would have finished him. He also got Battle Hammer there, Battle Hammer. And our Udaloy does an excellent job here. He does an excellent job in the entire battle, but he finished off the Iowa that wasn't moving fast enough there by flooding him out. And then he gets he's protected in his smoke on the Baltimore and finishes him as well. And I knew I had an extra letter on the nice work there in the chat, but I sent it anyways in the interest of just getting the message out quickly. And also I didn't want to spend too much time typing because I had more enemies nearby. So back when I decided to turn left around the island rather than right, I was basically committed to heading this way and charging into the battle. I could have circled back around and kept going left, but once I spotted the New Mexico that I'd set on fire earlier, and the Mogami up there in the upper northeast of the map, I decided to just keep pushing in here and head over towards B to help our Udaloy with the Arpeggio Blue Steel Haguro that's coming into B as well, and has almost all of its health left. So we got 2 destroyers closing from the north and the south on B. We got 1 battleship way out in the east that I should have turned and helped earlier. He's a Scharnhorst, we'll see him again. And there's also a Chapayev coming in from A to B, so I ended up just kind of committing to going in here and helping out our 2 destroyers. Didn't quite lead that Haguro enough. I should have realized when I fired he was able to move a little faster than that. He also turned, which probably made a difference. But I got a couple hits. They were unfortunately both overpens, so not a lot of damage done. And right here, I realized that I had left the battleship all the way, kind of all alone back there, the Scharnhorst all the way alone out in the east. But I'm gonna, while I've already got the guns turned this way, I'm gonna try and rock around on them. The Mogami had me focused for a while. He puts a few shots into me, but I missed the. I was trying to point out the Mogami there, not actually ask for cover on myself, especially when there's much better ships on our team that could use the help. So I'm trying to just come in here and help our guys with these 2 cruisers here, and unfortunately, I'm sorry there, Scharnhorst, but I'm just gonna end up just kind of leaving them alone there. I didn't see the torpedoes that the Udaloy had gotten off at the Haguro until I'd already fired. Good work there. That was his 4th kill. So very excellent job. I know he's a tier 9 destroyer, but I don't care. 4 kills is 4 kills. Trying to turn around here, come around to the left, hoping that I could get good shots in on the Chapayev, whatever, who's heading into the smoke here, and then continue a left turn and haul about and head back out east to try to help give the Scharnhorst some help. Get some hits on the Chapayev, pretty good hits, but not enough. And then while I'm waiting for the reload, I'm pretty sure, turned around hard to starboard and circled around in the smoke, because I'm waiting for him to just not be able to stop in time and drift forward here out of the smoke or somewhere where I could see him while I've got my reload coming. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Come on. I know I've got him in this next barrage. And then I could actually turn around like I promised and head back out east. Go help our poor Scharnhorst out there. And eventually realized that, like, he's either stopped in the smoke or he's going to get turned around. I checked here just to make sure he wasn't dead, and he's not. He was the Chapayev there. He's still alive. It's 4 on 3, and there finally he comes into sight from our Iowa spotting him and realize, okay, he's turned around. And apparently our Scharnhorst was getting flooded out because he gets finished here in a second. Unfortunately, the Mogami must have had him lined up. And then, of course, the Chapayev gets finished by our Iowa. So now there's really not any point. Take some pretty good hits from the Mogami there.
The ship is on fire!
Try to get the guns back in. Trying to get hits on this North Carolina here.
Problem solved,
Throw
sir.
one more damage control party in to try and recoup a little bit of health here before we go in. Us 2 battleships against 2 battleships and a cruiser. The Mogami, who's just going to pick away at us from long range, and then there's a Bismarck in close and North Carolina in pretty close too. Not looking too good. I was not feeling too happy about this fight right here. So the North Carolina had just fired, so I'm going to get my barrage off here before I switch my ammo, and then come about as hard as I can to starboard to try and get turned around and clear my broadsides to the North Carolina before he's got a chance to fire back at me. At my broadside. I was trying to get in behind the Iowa, and he just got burned up by fire from the Mogami. So I did manage to get turned around away, get my broadside turned away from North Carolina in time, but not looking too good right now. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm not a very great battleship captain, although I did manage to be the last person alive. But so, like I said in the chat there about that, and stay alive for 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That was pretty funny. Just trying to pick which target is going to be first for me to shoot at here. Basically counting on the Bismarck to come in, and there he is. Had HE loaded to try and get another shot in on the North Carolina, which of course didn't really work great. Took some serious citadels from the Bismarck. The secondaries open up on them. We're having ourselves a little bit of a secondary fight. And now I'm just hoping that I get my shots reloaded in time before I take another barrage from his main guns. So as my main batteries get reloaded here, I'm trying to get citadels on them, and most of my shots go into the water. So that was not the kind of dispersion I needed in that situation. But what are you going to do? So anyway, that was the first battle with the camouflages from my Christmas Admiral's gifts. I do like it. Obviously, I like the color orange. It's based off of Syracuse University, but it is also my favorite color, so there's a little sweet spot in my heart for that camo. And I did alright. I wouldn't say I did great by any means, but 4th place, could have done more damage to the Bismarck if all those barrage at the end there had actually gone and hit him, but got a pretty good XP score there. And then we move on to my second battle. In my second camo, this is the Gamescom 2016 camo, which gives you a little bit better bonuses. And here it is with my U.S.S. Ranger, which I'm coming down to the end of my Ranger's service life, as I've had the Lexington researched for a while. I just haven't had enough credits to buy it. I was over the credit limit I needed to buy it before this battle. Well, rather before the Colorado battle, but I bought the Sea Hull, which was 1.9 million credits, and I'm back below the level of credits I need to get the Lexington again. But before too long here, I should have enough credits. I've been waiting to buy it to get not just the credits to buy the ship, but enough credits to do a couple of upgrades to it at the same time. So that's basically why I'm waiting. Plus, I'm not in a giant hurry to go from my completely researched out, fully modded out Ranger to another totally stock U.S. carrier, especially a Tier 7 one rather than Tier 6. Or, I mean, Tier 8 rather than Tier 7 is what I meant. Because getting up-tiered all the way with a totally stock Lexington is not going to be fun at all. But so I did, this was the battle I did first, before I did the battle with the Colorado, so it was a 2-carrier battle, so I had an Independence. Thankfully, very, very thankfully, the friendly Independence was fighter air superiority spec'd out, which was great because I was Strike Wing, as I will usually use. And of course, the thing that I always dread to see when I've got my Strike Wing Ranger is a Saipan of any configuration. Luckily, my torpedo planes had launched last and were close enough to friendly forces that I was able to get them around. I was going to send my Strike Wing down the east wall there, but they were going to get discovered and mauled by enemy fighters, so I ended up turning them around. So we've got enemy are taking A, and I've got 2 fighter groups there from the Independence with me, so I sent my number 5 bomber squadron down there. Very nearly lost number 5, but then the Independence's fighters got involved, so I kind of sprung my... basically, they sprung my big, fat, slow bombing running backs free with a couple of good blocks there by the fighter linemen, and opened up a hole for my bomber strike to go through. So I decided to go after this Gneisenau. And they dropped just a bit short. Now there's an AFK Myoko right there, which I didn't realize at first. And there's the enemy Saipan as well. That probably was AFK at the start of the battle. which if I'd realized there was an AFK Saipan, I certainly would have concentrated all my forces after him, but I actually didn't notice that when I played this battle. I didn't even see that until just now. I was focused in on the bombing run on the Gneisenau and then getting my bombers the heck out of there in case I thought that those fighters at A were going to be off the Saipan and that the friendly Indies fighters were going to get wiped out, but I'm pretty sure they were the Ryujos. So I had diverted all my planes around to go in down the west wall, but with this Omaha here, he was just too much of a target and getting too close to us to allow him to go, so I've got my trying to make a torpedo run in on him with my second group here. And kind of my first encounter with a German destroyer over there as well, although he was turning away, thankfully. So get my torpedo planes lined up on this Omaha, try and get a good drop on him. Didn't really think I had any chance of hitting him, but my real goal with the torpedoes there was to just turn him away from the north, the direction he was coming in. My 3 and 4 squadrons get a good auto attack in there, and I actually got 3 torpedo hits on the Omaha. I don't know how that happened. I wish I'd been watching him, but my bombers did some good hits in on bombers got some good hits in on, I think, the Gneisenau. Should have been the Gneisenau, a repeat attack on him. Unfortunately, they would have been too close for him to suffer a lot of fire damage, but pretty decent damage as a start. So I had my ship traveling to the west, but I very quickly realized that was not a good idea and got him turned around and headed back out towards the east where the bulk of our fleet is. And we got an enemy fighter group made it in around to getting close to us, although at least there was plenty of friendly ships around. I was going to try and go hunt down a carrier, but it doesn't really work out at first. Eventually I'll get in on them. But this Omaha was getting way too close, and there was obviously no way I could ignore a cruiser getting this close in behind us, as none of our friendly ships are heading in this direction either. Bomb just a little early again. My number 5 squadron's got a bit of a problem with premature bomb drop. However, once they've dropped their bombs, supposedly they're faster. I think they are. I haven't done any real experimenting myself on, like, setting two bomb squadrons up, having one drop bombs and one not, and then have them both run to the same point to see if one gets there faster. But supposedly, from what I understand, empty bombers are faster than loaded bombers, so I sent my 5 group all the way down to recce out in the south and try to find the enemy carriers, and then end up sending the rest of my squadrons. I was going to have them just follow in, but realized I better not ignore that cruiser that's coming, because if he gets too close, there's nothing between he and the Independence and I over here in the western part. So sending my the team is aware of it. They did call out that we need help, which is great, but I'm sending my number 4 squadron in there to find him, because I know he's out here somewhere. And there he is, discovered. And see if I can't get in there and do a little work on him myself. Got pretty good hits on him there. 2 bombs and 2 fires is pretty good. If nothing else, he's got to burn his, he'll have to burn his repair there, if he hasn't already burned it earlier, which looks like he just used it. So I know if nothing else, I can go hit him again. So I'm gonna turn my, turn my number 3 squadron around, send him up in after the Omaha now. The Saipan just appeared again down in the south, but I wasn't looking there. I was looking at the guys taking the 2 ships in the B there. My bombers get in and discover the Ryujo. So send them home, because now I know where the Ryujo is, and now at this point I see the Saipan and realize where he is too. I'm going to send my empty number 5 squadron, I'm going to send them up to go spot on the destroyer, the German destroyer that's in our B point, take some fire and spot the Omaha, so I'm running the heck out of
Problem solved, sir.
Getting the heck out of the south and going after the enemy ships up here. Starting with this Omaha, who's been a pest for long enough, in my opinion. And Group 3 gets an incapacitation, but no real damage. Very disappointing when that happens. They did at least draw off the enemy fighter's attention, so we've got another group can get in there and bomb him. And I noticed the Miyoko was AFK here, so took the moment to line up my torpedo planes and get them in on a strike on the AFK ship because, well, it's Christmas and there's another Christmas present to me. Get Group 4 in, lined up on this guy, and get ready to finally finish this pesky Omaha off. The Independence got him with fire, which is fine. Got 4 hits and 2 floods in on the Miyoko out of my 6 torpedoes. Not bad. Cost me quite a few airplanes, but I've got torpedo planes to spare, so... Send number 5 squadron home. Thought for just a moment that Cleveland was AFK. He wasn't. The Cleveland was able to burn the Saipan out, so that was a relief. And had a bit of a heart attack moment here with the torpedoes coming in on the Ranger. Had just enough time and warning that I was able to turn into them. I think I would have evaded at least one and probably taken 1 hit, but luckily they expired out. So, no harm, no foul there, kind of. Now I'm trying to reset my carrier back around to the friendly fleet over here in the east. Get all my planes recovered. The Miyoko floods out. So a little bit of cheap kill, but a kill is a kill. Also, that prevents him from joining into the battle later, so if ever I'm in a carrier and I spot somebody who's AFK, I'm probably going to prioritize on them unless they're like 1 ship out of 4 or 5 that are taking our cap or something. Then I'll switch over and focus on the cap, but free RP is free RP is free RP, so... So the game was pretty even for the first... This battle was pretty even for the first half of it or so, but from here on out, we've pretty much got things under control quite handily.
Group 2, ready for takeoff.
So I'm going to bring everybody I've got in after this Gneisenau.
Group 4, airborne. Wilco. Group 5, airborne.
Changed up the course on my carrier to get in there, and just in case the battle continued, gonna swing it down in south. It's way too far away for me to actually get there, but once the enemy Ryujo was spotted, I went in, sent my whole strike wing in after him. Or, well, he wasn't spotted, but I sent him in after where I anticipated him to be. And then once the guys kind of start arriving, they're in a nice little staggered pattern, so I start sending them on search grids to find him where I had last seen him. He's down around here somewhere. He's got to be running, I know that, but I wasn't sure if he was going to be hiding in the bottom right corner, the southeast there, or what he was going to be doing. And then he appears, he gets spotted by the friendly Independence's plane, so try to gather up my forces and send them all in there. They didn't quite, I wasn't quite getting them all collected in one group at first. The Gneisenau has been finished, so there's just the Nuremberg left and the Ryujo. So try to mass the strike wing together and get them in, and now there's just the Ryujo left, and the Haguro is getting close. The Scharnhorst is blocked by an island. The Cleveland's nowhere near, and the Kirishima could probably reach if he's also not blocked by islands, but I've got a pretty good chance at getting in here on a strike. So I'll get my guys all lined up and ready for the attack in on the Ryujo, and start trying to bring them in for manual attacks here. I didn't quite get all the manual attacks lined up as well as I wanted, because the guys kind of arrived faster than I could get them all grabbed and set up. But at least manual attacks are sometimes effective. It didn't really matter about all the bombers missing, because once my torpedo planes unleashed here, this battle was finished. And that was that! So thanks again one more time, EEK, because when you see the payout, the commander payout especially for this battle, that makes the entire thing worth it. The money was really good. There's a big money boost increase from the Gamescom camo, and the commander XP boost is good too. So here's the final score. This battle obviously went much better than the first one, which was part of the reason why I switched the battles around. Obviously, score was much better. Our entire team outscored their entire team. Did pretty good damage on most of the guys I hit. And there's a second screen here so you can see all the commander XP that I got. Payout was really good, and look at the commander score there. 12,000 commander XP. Big multipliers from all that. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. Happy whatever you celebrate. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.